Fear is not always obvious. Sometimes it looks like excuses, sometimes it looks like procrastination, sometimes it looks like under confidence. However, it's ruining lives because people who are afraid, they delay taking decisions, they delay taking action, they delay upgrading their quality of life. Here, fear manifests itself in several different ways. First of all, it manifests as a fear of failure. Whenever we want to try something new, we want to succeed at the very first attempt. This is not always possible, and that's completely normal. It's not necessary that you should succeed or achieve your goal on the very first instance. But people have this tendency, or rather expectation, that if they do not succeed in the very first attempt, they are a failure. And that anxiety stops them from achieving their full potential. Next, fear manifests itself as a fear of judgment. What will people say? How will I be received? What will be the response of people listening to me? If I express my opinion, will I be judged adversely? Will people think I am a bad person? And here comes the imposter syndrome. We think in a certain way about a certain issue, but when we are in a group, we express that opinion which seems to be the common consensus of the majority in the group, despite not agreeing with it secretly. Then there is fear of rejection. When we are, suppose, let's take a small example. When we are in a job and we are miserable, we do not like, or the role that has been assigned to us is not consistent with our personality, even then we stay stuck in the same position because we are afraid that if we apply somewhere else, we might get rejected. Here, at least we are safe, at least we are getting our paychecks, and so on and so forth. Such type of fear keeps us trapped, and this very fear becomes our prison. We stay stuck in the same routine, we stay stuck in the same lifestyle, we stay stuck in the same position that we are now. We are unable to grow, we are unable to push boundaries. And amazingly, there is also a fear of success. What is this fear of success? If you succeed at something, people around you may change. Old friends will become distant. There will be new people to deal with, new relationships to be formed, new cities to be lived in, new opportunities to be taken advantage of. And this challenges the status quo of our lives. This challenges, this notion threatens our present comfort zone, and hence we delay taking a decision or not take any action at all. Why does this feeling of fear seem so powerful? Because it is because of a very simple reason. Our brain is wired to prefer familiarity. And when that familiarity is challenged, our brain becomes uncertain about what will happen, about what will transpire. And this feeling of uncertainty, lack of control, activates fear, and hence we remain stuck and not make any progress at all. But the truth is, courage is not absence of fear. Courage is moving despite fear. People who are successful, it is not as if they were not afraid. Yes, they were afraid, same as you and me. But they had the courage to move ahead anyway. They acted, they failed, they learned what did not work this time and what could be done better. They implemented those changes and then they repeated their activity, kept refining them, kept improving them, and doing them anyway. They did not let their fear stop them. Now, the question would arise, how do you deal with fear? First of all, stop waiting to feel fearless. That day never comes. If you wait for the perfect moment to feel courageous and completely fearless before you start something, I am afraid that they will never come. You will never be able to begin. Second, use gradual exposure. Fear comes or grows stronger through avoidance. If you expose yourself to that which you fear gradually, slowly, regularly, then the fear will slowly subside. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, why don't you record yourself in your mobile camera for 5 minutes every day? Watch your expressions, watch your tone, watch your hand gestures, and slowly over a week or two, you will notice a remarkable improvement. And then you can slowly start speaking in front of small groups. And this is how you build that confidence in public speaking. If you are afraid of recording media and posting them on social media platforms, let me tell you, first few videos that you post will anyway be not so good. This is true for all the expert successful creators out there. They were their first videos, their first few videos were not that good. Even they will concede this fact. But slowly, as they continued doing so despite their fears, they kept refining their processes. They learned editing or outsourced it to somebody else. And today it is a second nature for them. Third, stop creating imaginary disasters. Often our imagination runs wild and the problem seems bigger than it actually is. The more you delay taking the steps, the more powerful this feeling becomes, the more bigger the problem seems. However, when you take the first step and begin doing the task, it may be anything, slowly you will realize that most of the problems that you had imagined were just that, imagination. The reality is not so tough. You will gradually become attuned to whatever it is that you were afraid of earlier. Fourth, fourth, separate feelings from facts. If you have any apprehension, ask yourself this: does this apprehension exist in reality, or is it just my mind conjuring up this possibility? Once you learn to segregate these two, your life will become easier, but then your psyche or emotional and mental health will also become better. You will overthink less, you will be desperate less, you will be fearful less. So, this segregation between fact and imagination is very important. Fifth, focus on growth, not perfection. As I said earlier, it is nearly impossible to achieve perfection in the very first attempt. What you must focus on is making small improvements every day. Let each day improve you by 1%, 2%, 5%, whatever the percentage, whatever the extent. Let not a single day go by without making a certain improvement, and keep a daily log of your improvements. This helps you track what you are today with what you will become a month from now. When the evidence of growth or improvement appears before your eyes, this greatly helps reduce your fear and builds confidence. I would like you to understand this deeply. The more you avoid fear, the stronger it grows. The more you face fear, the stronger you grow.